Today in reasoning part we will discuss one more topic. Topic name is directions. It is very easy and interesting topic. Okay, we are having different questions in that. We will discuss one by one. So before going to start the questions, we will take what is direction and it's what type of questions may come in examination. Okay, we will discuss all these parts once again. Directions are mainly four. Okay, we know already: north direction, east direction, south direction and west direction. Apart from these four main directions, we are having another four cardinal directions. Okay, so we are having another four cardinal directions. Okay, the four cardinal directions are, so we know everybody here, the first cardinal direction is, so here we can take northeast direction, and here we can take southeast direction, and here we can take southwest direction, and here finally northwest direction. So all together we are having 8 directions. Apart from these 8 directions, 4 are main directions, which are north, east, south and west, and another 4 are cardinal directions. Okay, what name moolalu annam, cardinal directions. So they are northeast, southeast, southwest and northwest directions. Okay, so you need to have a main idea about these directions. And one more thing is, so just observe the main directions: north direction and east direction, similarly east and south, similarly south and west and north. So if you take the angle between any two main consecutive directions, so this is always equals to 90 degrees. I repeat this once again: the angle between the any two consecutive main directions. So what does it mean? The angle between north and east is 90 degrees. The angle between east and south is 90 degrees. Similarly south and west is 90, as well as west and north also we can say 90 degrees. Similarly the angle between every two consecutive cardinal directions is also 90 degrees. What does it mean? The angle between northeast and southeast is also 90 degrees. The angle between southeast and southwest is also 90 degrees. The angle between southwest and northwest, so is also 90 degrees. And finally angle between northwest and northeast also we say that 90 degrees. Okay, so with this what we can conclude: the angle between one main direction and its what we can say consecutive cardinal direction is always equals to 45 degrees we can say. So what I mean to say is, the angle between north and northeast is 45, northeast and east is 45, similarly east and southeast is 45, southeast and south is 45, similarly south and southwest is 45, southwest and west is 45, west and northwest is 45, and finally northwest and northwest and north also what we can say 45 degrees. Okay, so once again, so the angle between main two consecutive directions is equal to 90 degrees, as well as the angle between the angle between two consecutive cardinal directions is also 90 degrees. Hence the angle between a direction and its cardinal direction equals to how much we can say? Only 45 degrees we can say. Okay, for example, a person is facing towards the north. Think that a person is facing towards the north. So if the person is facing towards north, its right side direction is east direction and its left side direction is what you can say west direction. I repeat, if the person is facing towards north direction, the person is facing towards north direction, then the direction of right to him is east, the direction left to him is what you can say west we can say. So all right side nadu, the direction is, think that he is facing towards north, so right side is which direction? East direction. And what about left here? West direction. So with this what we can say, suppose for example a person is turning with the right side, or a person is turning with the left side, so one right or one left, so indirectly this is equals to how many degrees? 90 degrees. So one right turn or one left turn is equals to how many degrees we can say? 90 degrees. So what does it mean? For example, he is facing towards east. For example, the person is facing towards east, so he is turning with right direction. Think that he is facing towards east, he is turning with one right direction. So now what will get here? South direction. So east కాస్త ఎలా మారింది? South గా మారింది. What does it mean? The angle between these two is equals to 90 degrees. So indirect గా one right turn, or else we can say he turned one left. So he turned one left means what we can say? North direction. So indirectly one right turn or one left turn is equals to how much we can say? 90 degrees we can say. And since it is complete revolution, for example, I started from north and in clockwise sense I finished one complete rotation. So indirectly it is formed a circle. Sum of all the angles in circle is equal to how much we can say? 360 degrees we can say. So 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees and 90 degrees. So 90 into 4 is equals to how much we are getting? 360 degrees we are getting. Okay. So simple logic. From this part, just remember 4 main directions and 4 cardinal directions, and one right turn or one left turn equal to simply 90 degrees. Okay. This is the main part what you need to observe. And the angle between one main direction and its consecutive corner equals to, corner means indirectly we can say cardinal direction. So main direction and cardinal direction, angle equal to how much we can say? 45 degrees we can say. It's a simple logic. Okay. So next we'll focus on shadows. So some kind of shadows part is there, that is something important. We'll focus on shadows part. Then let us start with that. Okay. So now we'll focus on shadows part. Just now we have seen different directions. Now we'll focus on shadows. Regarding the shadow, we are having mainly 4 points. We'll discuss our four points one by one. Okay. Now we'll focus on first point. So observe here very interesting points regarding shadows. Just have a look. First point in shadows. For example, at the time of sunrise. At the time, we know already, sun rises in the east antam, sun sets in the west antam. Okay. So now at the time of sunrise, indirectly morning time, at the time of sunrise, if the person is facing towards east direction, just have a look on this diagram. In the morning time or at the time of sunrise, if the person is facing towards east direction, then his shadow will be always towards west direction. I repeat this first point once again. Okay. So in the morning time or else at the time of sunrise, if the person is facing towards east direction, so what does it mean? He is facing towards east. So what about his shadow? His shadow will be always towards west direction. I repeat this part once again. So at the time of sunrise, if the person is facing east direction, then his shadow will be towards west direction. That is first point in shadows. Okay. So now we'll focus on second point. Second point is at the time of sunset. So this is about sunrise. And at the time of sunset, if the person is facing or any direction, at the time of sunset, the shadow of an object is always towards east direction. I repeat this second point. Okay. At the time of sunset, the shadow of an object is always towards the east direction. Okay. So this is third point regarding shadows. And second point regarding shadows. And third point is, for example, at the time of sunrise, if think that the person is facing towards north direction, at the time of sunrise, the person is facing towards the north direction, then his shadow will be towards his left. So he is facing towards north direction, and his shadow will be always towards left at the sunrise time. And at the time of sunset, if the person is facing towards north direction, then his shadow will be always towards his right. What does it mean? Towards east direction. Third point I will say once again. Think that the person is facing towards north direction. At the time of sunrise, if the person is facing towards north direction, then his shadow will be always towards left direction. So left means what we can say? West only. So think that he is facing towards north. So at morning, at the time of sunrise, so in the morning time, his shadow will be always towards left. So towards left means immediately what you are getting? West direction. And similarly in the morning time, at the time of sunset, in the evening time, if the person is facing towards north direction, then his shadow will be always towards his right side. So right side means what you are getting? East direction you are getting. So this is about third point regarding shadows. And finally fourth point is at 12 noon. At exactly 12 noon, since the sun rays are vertically downward, we say that at exactly midday 12 noon there will be no shadow. These are the four different points. These are the four different points regarding shadows. I repeat these 4 points once again. Point number 1, at the time of sunrise, if the person is facing towards east direction, then his shadow will be always towards west direction. That is first point. So the east face చేసాడు మార్నింగ్ టైంలో, shadow will be always towards his west. That is first point. And second point is at the time of sunset. At the time of sunset, the shadow of an object is always towards the east direction only. In the evening time we can say, or at the time of sunset, the shadow of an object is always towards what we can say? East direction. That is second point. And third point is think that the person is facing towards north, or else the object is facing towards north. Okay, then what we can say? The shadow of an object is in the morning time. In the morning time, the shadow of an object is always towards left. So left means what you are getting? West. And at the time of sunset, if the person is facing towards north, then his shadow will be always towards what we can say? East we can say. That is third point. And finally fourth point in shadow is at the time of, or else at exactly 12 noon. At exactly 12 noon, since the sun rays are vertically downward, then we say that there will be no shadow. So these are the four important and interesting points. So remember, morning time means roughly west direction. Evening time means simply we say that east direction. Okay, so keep these 2 points in mind. At exactly midday, no shadow. Okay, so now we will discuss one more thing, that is about Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem also we are going to use when you are solving some kind of problems. We will discuss Pythagoras part, then we will start the problems. Okay, so now we will discuss Pythagoras theorem part. Okay, so let us Pythagoras theorem. We know already Pythagoras theorem, or this is called 𝗬𝗏 theorem. Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so it's not a mathematical part, we know everybody already. Okay, we will discuss one by one. Pythagoras theorem or 𝗬𝗏 theorem. So let's say I am taking one right angle triangle. So let's say ABC is the right angle triangle. So let's say right angle is at A. ABC is the right angle triangle and right angle is at capital A. So means what does it mean? Here angle A is equals to 90 degrees. So usually in right angle triangle, the side which is opposite to 90 degrees is called hypotenuse. In right angle triangle, the side which is opposite to 90 degrees. Which side is opposite to 90 here? So BC side is opposite to 90. That's why in right angle triangle, the side which is opposite to 90 degrees is called hypotenuse. So regarding this what you can say diagram, what is my hypotenuse here? BC is the hypotenuse. So what about remaining two sides? Remaining two sides are AC is one side and AB is one side. So now we can establish the relation between the hypotenuse and remaining two sides in a right angle triangle by using Pythagoras theorem concept. So what the theorem says is, in a right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is always equal to sum of the squares of the other two sides. I repeat this statement once again. In a right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equals to sum of the squares of the other two sides. Dane simple ga side square is equals to side square plus side square, or hypotenuse square is equals to side square plus side square. So if you apply that concept here, what we can get here? What is my hypotenuse? BC. So square of the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares of the other two sides. So sum of the squares of the other two sides. AB is one side and AC is one side. So when you are solving problems, we will come across with this kind of problems. Okay, this is one point. I repeat, it's not a mathematical thing. One small point here. Pythagoras theorem means simply hypotenuse square is equal to side square plus side square. What is hypotenuse? It is also largest side in right angle triangle, or else the side which is opposite to 90 degrees is said to be hypotenuse. So the square of the hypotenuse is equals to what you are getting, sum of the squares of the other two sides. This is about Pythagoras theorem part. Okay, and next there are 3 points. Before going to start the question, I need to focus on 3 points here. For example, the person is starting from point A, and for example, the person A is starting towards south direction. So he started towards south, and he takes some left and right directions. So let's say he taken like this, some left and right directions he is taken. Okay, and let's say, so now he is at this position. For example, this is starting point A and this is ending point B. Okay, by turning some lefts and rights, so he moved. Now from A to he reached destination B. There are 3 types of questions he may ask. Okay, so starting point is A, he taken some lefts and some rights and finally reached destination B. There are 3 types of questions. First question is, in which direction he is facing now? In which direction he is facing now? So if you observe here, so he is facing according to the diagram. Just focus on the diagram. So north, northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west, northeast and all. Okay, so now which direction he is facing now? So this is which direction? Obviously, in which direction he is facing now means we can say that north direction. That is, if you applicable to this diagram, then he is facing towards north direction. And the second question is, he may ask like this. So which direction is he now from starting position? Which direction is he now from starting position? This is something what you can say, confusing part, logical part. I repeat. So first type is which direction he is facing now. So it's very clear which direction he is facing now, north direction. And second question is which direction he is facing now from starting point. అంటే ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది తెలుగులో అంటే, అతడు ఏ దిశకి అభిముఖంగా ఉన్నాడు అన్నప్పుడు నార్త్ అని తీసుకుంటాం. అలా కాకుండా బయలుదేరిన స్థానము దృష్ట్యా ఏ దిశకి అభిముఖంగా ఉన్నాడు అంటాడు. సో వాట్ ఈజ్ పొజిషన్ విత్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టు స్టార్టింగ్ పాయింట్. సో ఇది ఏ అనేది స్టార్టింగ్ పాయింట్. సో ఈ రీచ్డ్ డెస్టినేషన్ బి. సో అబ్జర్వ్ హియర్. సో అకార్డింగ్ టు డయాగ్రామ్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఈ ఈజ్ దేర్ హియర్ అండ్ నౌ ఈజ్ ఎట్ బి. సో దట్ ఈస్ విచ్ డైరెక్షన్? నార్త్ ఈస్ట్ డైరెక్షన్. ఐ రిపీట్, which direction he is facing now means north direction. Which direction he is facing now from starting point. So which direction he is facing now, starting point means, so starting point is A and destination is B. So if you will observe here, it's not completely straight, so it's a vertical part. Okay, that's why the direction is said to be. So here think that A and here think that B. That is which direction? Northeast direction. Okay, that is second type of question. So ఏ దిశకి అభిముఖంగా ఉన్నాడు, ఇంకొకటి బయలుదేరిన స్థానం దృష్ట్యా ఏ దిశకి అభిముఖంగా ఉన్నాడు. ఓకే, we will discuss few problems, you will get the clear idea. And final part is how far is he from starting position. How far is he from starting position? For example, let's say here 5 meters, 5 meters, 5 meters, 10 meters, for example 7 meters, think that. Okay, now how far is he now అంటే you should not add all these values. ఇవన్నీ కలపకూడదు. ఏం తీసుకుంటాము అంటే simply we have to take the shortest distance between the given 2 points. Started from A and reached B. Simply we have to take the shortest distance between the given 2 points. Because at that point we will use this right angle triangle formula. For example, started from B. So he came from B to A and again from A to C. So now how far is he? Let's say this is 10 meters and this is 15 meters. So how far is he from starting point ante you should not say that 10 meters plus 15 meters 25 meters. No, you have to find out the how far is he now means you have to find out the shortest distance between the given 2 points. There are 3 types of asking questions. First one is in which direction he is facing now. Second question, which direction is he facing now from starting point. And third question is how far is he now. So how far means whenever you mention the word how far, direct distance, so you need to take the accurate diagram. And distance means the shortest distance between the initial point and what you can say final point. Only you have to take the shortest distance. So simply you can say displacement concept. You should not add all these values. Okay, add all these values. Now based on these concepts we will discuss questions one by one. Let us start the questions. Okay, so in directions, now we will start the question. First number is given like this. So the question is, so what he mentioned here, Mohan walks towards south. After a while he turns to his right, comma, right, comma, left, comma, right, comma, left, comma, right, and finally turns to his right, and finally turns to his right, and reached the destination. And question is, which direction is he facing now? Which direction is he facing now? Okay, the question follows like this. Once again, Mohan walks towards south direction. So for example, let's say somewhere consider as starting point. So this is my starting point. So here Mohan is there. Starting point is A. Mohan walks towards which direction? Mohan walks towards the south direction. Okay, so think that Mohan is walks towards south direction. So let's say we know already this direction is which direction? South direction. Next what happened? So after a while he turns to his right. So think that after a while he turns to his right. So this is one right direction. Okay. After that he given some lefts and rights. So how many lefts and how many rights given? So if you will observe here from the given question. So first he given right. After that again he given right, and again he given left, comma. So again he given right, comma, again he given left, and finally what happened? Right, and finally turns to his right and reached the destination. So if you will observe here in the given question, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. There are 5 rights are there, and there are how many lefts are there in the given question? There are 2 lefts are there in the given question. Okay. So now first he turns which direction? Right direction. Okay, we have taken this. Then again which direction? Right direction. Here you can take the rough diagram. Diagram is not mandatory because he asked you to find only direction, not a distance. So if it is a distance, then you should take the accurate diagram. Since it is only direction, we can take rough diagram. Okay. So next again we need to apply the right direction. So okay, this is right, and again he given left direction. So this is left direction, and again and fourth he given right direction. So again this is which direction? Right direction. So again he given which direction? Left direction. So think that this is left direction. So again he given right direction, and finally given right direction. Okay. So these are the lefts and rights given. So now let's say this is starting point, and now this is initial point. Initial point is A and final point is B. Question is what? In which direction he is facing now? In which direction he is facing now? So what does it mean? Now he is walking towards this direction. So we know already there are 4 main directions, that is northern arm, eastern arm, southern arm and western arm. So for example, person is here, he is walking so in this direction. So this is which direction? According to given question, that is east direction. Hence the answer for the given question is equals to what we can say? East direction we can say. Okay, but by using this is general procedure, without using any shortcut formula, directly I have taken the question. So some rights are there, lefts are there, rights are there, lefts are there. He is turning left, right, and all, and is moving. Okay, started towards south. So this is south direction. First right, again right, so left, again right, so left, again right, and finally right. He moved like this. Okay, so now usually in exam hall we are in a hurry. We don't know which is left and which is right sometimes. Now that's why, to avoid all these complications, what you will do, instead of using this procedure, we have some other shortcut method. We will apply the shortcut method. So according to shortcut method, what you have to do is simply in the given question, list out all the rights and list out all the lefts. List out all the rights and all the lefts. So here we are having the list: right, right, left, right, left, right, right. So here now what you have to do is simply according to shortcut formula, you have to cancel one right with one left, or one left with one right. However, so what does it mean? Here one right is there, one right and one left. Oka right ki ఒక లెఫ్ట్ని లేదా ఒక లెఫ్ట్కి ఒక రైట్ని కట్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ రైట్కి లెఫ్ట్ క్యాన్సిల్ అయిపోయింది, సో ఈ రైట్కి లెఫ్ట్ క్యాన్సిల్ అయిపోయింది. నౌ వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ హౌ మెనీ రైట్స్ హియర్? సింప్లీ వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ ఓన్లీ 3 రైట్స్. ఓకే, సో అగైన్ you can do in 3 ways. We are having 3 rights. Just now I told you one right or one left is equals to how many degrees here? 90 degrees. But how many rights we are having? 3 rights. 3 rights means indirectly how many degrees? 270 degrees. 270 degrees we have to apply in which direction? in which side? Right side. Now the person is moving in which direction? So he only given Mohan walks towards south direction. Mohan walks towards right direction. Now instead of applying all right left and all, simply we have to apply only 270 degrees. So here roughly take the diagram, complete directions. So here north is there, and northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west, and northwest, all 8 directions. Okay, there are 4 main and 4 cardinal directions. So now here think that this is south direction. So now Mohan is walking towards the south direction. Now I have to apply how many degrees? 270 degrees. Towards which side? Right side. So now observe here, applying 270 towards right. So now here he is walking towards the south direction. So now for this south, I applied 90 degrees, and I applied 180 degrees, and finally I applied another 90 degrees. So what does it mean? I applied 270 degrees towards the right direction. So now he came on this line. What does it mean? So here also simply we can say the person is walking towards which direction? East direction. I repeat this question once again. Okay. So Mohan walks towards south. Mohan walks towards right. Then after a while he turns right, left, right, and finally turns right and reached his destination. Which direction he is facing now? Which direction he is facing now? So what does it mean here? Clearly, without using any shortcut formula, apply one direction, south direction, and lefts, rights accordingly. We are getting answer is east. Sometimes this is time consumption. You may get the answer time consumption. It's waste of time. To avoid that, what you will do? There is another method, that is shortcut method. What you have to do? You have to cancel one right with one left, or one left with one right. Oka right ki ఒక లెఫ్ట్ కట్ చేస్తాం, లేదా ఒక లెఫ్ట్కి ఒక రైట్ కట్ చేయండి. అలా కట్ చేసిన తర్వాత సో ఆ మిగిలినటువంటి రైట్స్ని కానీ లేదా లెఫ్ట్స్ని కానీ ఇనీషియల్గా ఆ పర్సన్ ఏ డైరెక్షన్లో అయితే మూవ్ అయ్యాడో ఆ డైరెక్షన్కి ఈ రిమైనింగ్ లెఫ్ట్స్ని కానీ రైట్స్ని కానీ అప్లై చేయడం ద్వారా విల్ గెట్ ద ఆన్సర్ ఇన్ విచ్ డైరెక్షన్ ఈ ఈజ్ ఫేసింగ్ నౌ. ఆఫ్టర్ క్యాన్సలింగ్ రైట్స్ అండ్ లెఫ్ట్స్ ఐఎమ్ గెటింగ్ 3 రైట్స్. 1 right is equal to 90 degrees, 3 rights is equal to 270 degrees. So initially Mohan is walking towards south. From south direction in right side we have to apply how many degrees? 270 degrees. Hence we are getting which direction? East direction. So if you will follow this method, how many rights are there, how many lefts are there, no issue. Simply remaining rights or remaining lefts we have to apply the initial direction, because initially Mohan is walking towards south. For south we have to apply the remaining rights or lefts. Hence the answer for this question is what you are getting? To east direction we are getting. Okay. So now we will discuss one more question. Just have a look on this. So now we will discuss second type of question, type 2 question in directions part. Just focus on this. So what he mentioned here, Amar starts from his house towards northwest. Amar starts from his house towards northwest. After walking a certain distance, he turns to his left. So again he given lefts and rights only. We will take all lefts and rights. So first he given left, or else we will read the question once. So left, right, left, right, left, and finally he turns the right and reached the destination. There are 2 types of questions. So type 1 is given, type 2 given. Type 1 is what? Which direction is he now? Which direction is he now? And second question is what he mentioned here, which direction is he now from starting position. Which direction is he now and which direction is he now from starting position. So this is also the type of question. Now we list out all lefts and rights. Amar starts from his house towards northwest. After walking certain distance, he turns to his left. So one left given and another left given and right given. So next again one left given, another left given, and right given. Okay, and left given. Finally he given right. Finally he given right. I repeat. So how many lefts are there? 1, 2. See, just focus on this question. So 1, 2, 2 lefts are there, and next right is there. Again 2 lefts are there, 1 right is there. Again 1 left is there. Finally he turns left and reach the destination. So concept is same. What you have to do? You have to cancel one right with one left. So now this right and left cancelled. Similarly left and right cancelled. Similarly left and right cancelled. How many lefts I am getting? Only 2 lefts. So we know already 1 left is equals to how many degrees? 1 left is equals to 90. So now how many lefts I am getting? 2 lefts I am getting. 1 left is equals to 90. 2 lefts is equals to how much I am getting? 180 degrees. Now initially he mentioned one thing. So let's say take rough diagram. So here north and northeast. So here east. So here southeast, south, southwest, west and northwest. So now person or Amar is walking towards northwest. So observe here, let's say here Amar is there. Amar is walking towards which direction? Northwest direction. Now how many lefts left here? 2 lefts left. 1 left is equal to how many degrees? 90 degrees. If 1 left is equals to 90, 2 lefts is equals to 180. Apply 180 degrees from his left side. So now he is moving towards northwest direction, applying 180 degrees towards his left. So applying 180 degrees from left. So here northwest and southwest angle is 90, southwest and southeast angle is 90. So 90 plus 90, how much I am getting? 180 degrees. Hence now is on which side? Southeast direction. Hence the answer for the given question is equals to what you can say? Southeast direction we can say. Okay, whether he given main direction in question number 1 he given main direction, whereas in question number 2 he given what you can say? Northwest direction. Whether it is north direction, northeast direction, however simply list out all the lefts and all the rights, cancel one right with one left or one left with one right, you will get finally some rights you will get or some lefts you will get. So these remaining rights or remaining lefts, if you will get right, you should apply from right side. If you will get in lefts, you should apply from left side. So hence the answer for this question is equals to what we can say? Southeast direction we can say. Two interesting points here. Now there are two questions are there. First question is what? In which direction? Which direction is he now? So which direction is he now means, what we can say? Southeast we can say. But second question what he mentioned here, which direction is he now from starting point? Which direction is he now from starting point? So for that what you need to do is, so simply take one more logical concept. So simply first Amar is walking towards which direction? First he is walking towards the northwest direction, right? So he is walking towards northwest direction. Okay, so there is no issue with that. How many lefts left here? 2 lefts left. 1 left is equal to how much? 90. So 1 left is equals to 90. So this is 1 left. This is 1 left. Okay, so 1 left means indirectly he came to southwest direction. And secondly one more left is there, right? One more left is there. So one more left means indirectly you have to get the angle between these two is equals to how much you have to get? 90 you have to get. So this is another left. Okay, so now question number 1 and 2. So now let's say this is starting point. This is starting point. Now with respect to this point, now he is here. So now which direction is he now means we will say the concept is southeast direction. But next question is what? Which direction is he now from starting point? So starting point is A and he reached B. Now I have to say the position of B with respect to A. So what about this direction? That is said to be southwest direction. Okay, I repeat the questions once again. Amar starts walking towards northwest. This is same. Northwest is there. Okay, list out all lefts and rights. Cancel left with right. I am getting 2 lefts. 2 lefts means how many degrees? 180 degrees. So this is clear. 2 lefts means 180. That's why it will come exactly opposite to previous direction. Previous is at northwest. Now it comes to southeast direction. The answer for the first question is southeast. And second question is which direction is he now from starting point? So what is my starting point? A. And now he reached destination B. So with respect to A, what about this B? So simply we say the answer is equals to southwest direction. Okay, so now we'll focus on next question. So now we have seen 2 questions. Now we'll focus on third question regarding directions. Okay, see in question number 1 and question number 2 it is about lefts and rights. but whereas in third question, lefts and rights only, but he given with some angles. Okay, so just see the question. What he mentioned here, the question is Radha walks towards east. Observe here, Radha walks towards east. Then she turns her left with 180 degrees. She turns her left with, so left with how many degrees? 180 degrees. So next what he given, turns right with 135 degrees. Turns right with 135 degrees. Okay, so next what he mentioned, turns right with 135 degrees, turns right with again 90 degrees. So turns with again 90 degrees. And next what he mentioned, left with 360 degrees. So left with 360 degrees. And next what he mentioned here, right with 45 degrees. Right with 45 degrees. And finally she turns right, right? Finally she turns right and with 45 degrees. Again she turns right with 45 degrees. So now what he asked to find, and reached her destination. So then which direction is she now? Which direction is she now? Okay, so I repeat the question. Radha walks towards which direction? East direction. Radha walks towards east. That is what he given. Then first she turns left with 180 degrees, again right with 135 degrees, again right with 90 degrees, and left with 360 degrees, and right with 45 degrees. Finally turns right with 45 degrees and reached her destination, right? So finally turns 45 degrees and reached her destination. So now in which direction is she now? In which direction is she facing now, right? So again, to solve these questions, in general we can solve without using any shortcuts. You can solve, or simply there is a shortcut for this type of question also. So what you have to do, simply you have to add all the left side angles and simply you have to add the all right side angles. Add all left side angles, add all right side angles. So let's say for example taking all left side angles. So first angle is how much here? 180 degrees, and next is how much I getting? 360 degrees. There are only two left side angles. So here 0, 14, 14 means how many degrees I am getting? 540 degrees I am getting. Similarly take all right angles. So here right means how much I am getting? 135 degrees. So here 90 degrees. So here 45 degrees. Here also how much I am getting? 45 degrees. Adding all right side angles. So here right means how much there? One right is 135 and next is 90, next is 45, and again how much given? 45 degrees given. Let's add all these angles. So 5 plus 5 10, 10 plus 5 15, right? So 5 1. So here 9 plus 1 10, 18, 18 plus 3 21. So 2 plus 1 is equals to how much I getting? 315 degrees. Adding all left side angles and adding all right side angles. Adding all left angles I am getting 540. Similarly adding all right angles I am getting 315 degrees. Now you have to find out the difference between these two angles. So here 540 degrees is there, minus here what I am getting? 315 degrees. Okay, without using pen and paper we'll simplify this. So forget about 40 and 15. Forget about 40 and 15. 500 minus 300. 500 minus 300 means how much you are getting? 200. And 40 minus 15. 40 minus 15 means 25. So 200 plus 25, how much you are getting? 225 degrees you are getting, right? So now these 225, observe here, will it left 225 in right angles or left angles? Means here left angle is 540, whereas right angle is 350. Okay, so this is greater than left angle is greater than right angle. What does it mean? The difference is 225 degrees. Left in which side? Left side. So now what he mentioned here, now then which direction is she now? Which direction is she now? So to know that, what we will do, again we will take the rough diagram. So let's say I am taking all 8 directions. First Radha walks towards which direction? Radha walks towards east, right? So for example here Radha is there. Now Radha is walking towards east. Okay, there is no issue. For this, how many degrees we have to apply? 225 degrees we have to apply. From which side? Again from left side, because 225 degrees left in which side? Left side. That's why applying 225 degrees to her initial position. Initial position is east, that's why applying 225. So observe here, now I applied 180 degrees. I applied 180 from left side of her. Then again I need to apply another 45 degrees. Yes. So now this is what direction? So here simply it is said to be southwest direction. So which direction is she facing now means what is your answer? Southwest direction. So simply in previous 1-2 questions only lefts are there, rights are there. We cancelled lefts and rights. We are getting some what we can say, we are getting either lefts or rights, applying these lefts or rights to the initial positions or initial directions. Whereas in this model, so lefts and rights only given, but he given this lefts and rights with certain angles, left with some angle, right with some angle, he given like that. So whenever he given like that, simply what you have to do, you have to add all left side angles, you have to add all right side angles. Then after that you have to find out the difference. If you will get this difference in left, you need to apply left initial direction, you need to apply from left side. And if you will get in right, you have to apply this angle to her or to that right initial position from right side. Hence the answer for this question is equals to how much I am getting? Southwest direction I am getting. So I hope you understood these 3 problems. Now we will discuss another model. Observe next question. What he mentioned here. Fourth question. First 2 questions are based on lefts and rights. Third question is based on lefts and right with some angles. So now fourth question is about he asked to find out finally distance. Whenever he asked to find the distance, remember you need to take the accurate diagram. There is no shortcut for that. Okay. So distance means again we have to take the shortest distance between the initial point and final point. Remember these 2 concepts. Now we will get the question. So what is the question? He mentioned Prasanna went 15 kilometers to the west. So simply observe here. So let us say somewhere take starting point. This is starting point. What happened? Prasanna went how many kilometers? 15 kilometers to the west from her house. For example, think that this is west direction, we know already. So west direction went how many kilometers? 15 kilometers from her house. Then turned left. So she turned left and walked how many kilometers? 20 kilometers. So turned left and walked 20 kilometers. So think that this is 20 kilometers. You need to get the accurate diagram. Then what happened? Then she turned east. So we know already east direction. Again she turned east and walked how many kilometers? 25 kilometers. So now again she turned east and walked 25 kilometers. So 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers, and next he given 25 kilometers. Okay. So next what she did, and finally turned left and covered how many meters, how many kilometers? 20 kilometers. So she turned left. So he turned left and covered only 20 kilometers. So now this is the initial point and this is final point. What is the given question? The given question is how far was she from her house? How far was she from her house? So తన ఇంటి నుంచి ఎంత దూరంలో ఉంది అన్నాడు. అలా అన్నప్పుడు you should not add 15, 20, 25, 20 and all. You should not add all these values. Just now I told you, you have to take the shortest distance between the given 2 points. For example, A is the starting point and B is the initial point. Now I have to find out the distance between AB. AB distance I have to find out. So we know everybody. So here this length is equal to how many kilometers? 25 kilometers. If this length is 25, what about this complete length also? 25. But out of 25, he given already how many kilometers? 15 kilometers. So subtracting 15 kilometers from 25 kilometers. I repeat this step once again. So here this is length is 25 kilometers. If this is 25 kilometers, this must be also how many kilometers? 25 kilometers only. Out of these 25 kilometers, he already given 15 kilometers. So if this is 15, this could be remaining how much you have to get? 10 kilometers I have to get. So what does it mean? Therefore, the angle between how far is she from her house? హౌ ఫార్ ఈజ్ షీ ఫ్రమ్ హర్ హౌస్ మీన్స్ బయలుదేరిన స్థానం నుంచి ఎంత దూరంలో ఉంది, ఇంటికి ఎంత దూరంలో ఉంది అన్నప్పుడు వీ హ్యావ్ టు ఫైండ్ అవుట్ ద షార్టెస్ట్ డిస్టెన్స్. ఆ రెండు బిందువుల మధ్య ఉన్నటువంటి కనిష్ట దూరాన్ని కనుగొనడం ద్వారా ఆన్సర్ వస్తుంది. సో దీనికి సంబంధించి వాట్ ఈస్ ఆన్సర్ హియర్ 10 kilometers. Okay, now we'll take simple diagram. Just observe here. So here west 15, again turn right, turned left, and again east, and so on. This is a simple diagram, and the answer for this question is finally how much I am getting? 10 kilometers I am getting. Just see the next question. Question number 5. What is given? Arun walks 20 meters towards north. So I repeat, Arun walks 20 meters towards the north. So let's say somewhere take starting point. Let's say the starting point be A. Now he walks how many meters? 20 meters towards north. Okay, no issue. So 20 meters towards north. This is north direction. Then what happened? Then he turns left. Then he turns left and walks how many meters? 40 meters. So turns left and walks 40 meters. You need to take the accurate diagram. Turns left and walks 40 meters. So he again turns left and walks how many meters? 20 meters. Again turns left, walks 20 meters. I hope you understood this also. Okay, so here turns left and 40, again turns left and 20 meters. So next sentence what he mentioned, then further he moves 20 meters. Further he moves 20 meters after turning to the right. So after turning to the right, now he is facing towards south. He is facing towards south. So he turns right. He turns right and moves how many meters here? 20 meters. Then what is the given question? How far is he from his original position? I repeat the question. Diagram is very clear. Diagram is very clear. Just read the question once again. Somewhere you have to consider the initial point. Okay. So now initial point is A. Now what happened? Arun walks 20 meters towards north. So 20 meters towards north. Then next what happened? Again he turns left and walks 40 meters. Okay, it's clear. Turns left and walks 40 meters. Again turns left and walks 20 meters. So after that what he mentioned here? So next he turns right and walks 20 meters. So remember here left, but whereas here right. Turns 20 meters. And the question is, what is the given question? How far is he from his original position? Original position. So అలాంటప్పుడు ఏం తీసుకుంటాం? Now he is at A and reached B. We have to find out the distance between the initial point and terminal point. So let's say this distance is very clear. So this distance is equals to AB distance I have to find out. AB distance I have to find out. Here A from this point to this point is 40. That's why this also how much you have to get? 40 you have to get. So this is 40 and he walked how many meters? 20 meters. So 40 plus 20, what we can say? 60 meters we can say. Simple logics. Okay. Only one thing is, somewhere consider initial point or starting point. Assigned A. So starting point is A and he turned left, right and with there some directions. So accordingly I applied some angles. 20 means some small line, 40 means big line. So 20 means again same line, 20 means like that. Okay. So hence answer for this question is equals to 60 meters. Now we'll take one more question. Is follows. It is about Krishna. What happened? Krishna goes 300 meters north. So let's say somewhere take starting point. Somewhere take starting point. What happened? Krishna goes how many meters? 30 meters north. So Krishna goes 30 meters north. There is no issue with this. Next what happened? Then turns right and walks 40 meters. Turns right. So here he is walking in that way. So turns right and walks how many meters? 40 meters. There is no issue with that. Next what happened? Then again turns right. Again turns right and walks how many meters only? 20 meters. So again turns right. Again turns right and walks only 20 meters. Okay, this is the concept. So next what he mentioned here, then again turns right and walks 40 meters. Then again turns right and walks 40 meters. So here now he is walking towards south direction, turns right and walks 40 meters. Is it 40 only? Yes. Turns right and walks how many meters? 40 meters. So again simply he came to on this place. Okay, simply he came to on this place. Now question is what? How many meters is he from his original position? how many meters is he from his original position? I repeat this question once again. So now where he started? He started from A. He asked to find out the distance between A and B. Just read the question, you will get the idea about this. Krishna goes 30 meters north. So starting point is A. So Krishna goes 30 meters north. Okay, this is north direction. There is no issue. And next term, second line what he mentioned here, he turns right and walks 40 meters. So he turns right and walks how many meters? 40 meters. Then again turns right and walks 20 meters. Again turns right and walks 20 meters. Then finally he mentioned one more point. So what it is? He again turns right and walks 40. He again turns right and walks walks how many meters? 40 meters. So since this is 40, this must be also how much you have to get? 40 you have to get. So now again he is on line B. Now what is the given question? Question is how far, how many meters is he from his original position? Same, we have to find out the distance between A and B. See, it's very clear. This length is equals to how much there? 20 meters. If this length is equal to 20, what could be this length? This is also 20. But complete length is how much? Complete length is equal to 30. From starting point to this corner, it is 30. But what about from starting point to B? It is only 20. So 30 minus 20 means how much you are getting? Simply you are getting 10 meters. Therefore, how far is he, how many meters is he from starting point means how many meters we can say? 10 meters we can say. Okay, just have a look on that. You will get the idea. Okay, so next question. Just now we have seen few problems based on distance also. Whenever he asks to find the distance, sometimes we may apply the Pythagoras theorem also. That's why we learned about that theorem at the starting point of the topic. Okay, so just practice more problems, definitely you will get the good command on this topic. Now next question is based on shadows part. Okay, very interesting question regarding shadows. I told you in the morning time, at the time of sunrise, his shadow will be always at the time of sunrise. If person is facing towards east, his shadow will be towards west. Or else in the evening time or at the time of sunset, the shadow of an object is always towards only east direction. Then like that we have seen only 4 points. Okay, based on those 4 points we are going to discuss the shadows part. Okay, what is the given question in shadows? One morning Uday and Vishal were talking to each other face to face. One morning Uday and Vishal were talking to each other face to face. Okay, and for example now I am taking 4 directions. Now roughly we will apply the condition. Let's say they are talking face to face means either they must be on these 2 directions or they must be there on these 2 directions. They must be in opposite directions. What happened? At what time? One morning time. Vishal and Uday were talking to each other face to face at a crossing. Then Vishal's shadow was exactly to the left of Uday. Vishal's shadow was exactly to the left of Uday. Then the question is, which direction was Uday facing? Here there are 2 fellows. One is Vishal and Uday. Whenever you ask to find the these type of questions, first you have to fix the shadow. Okay, on which time? In the question you only mentioned the time is morning time. That's why we know morning time shadow will be towards only west side. So here north direction, east direction, south direction and west direction. See, observe here. Here I am fixing shadow. This is whose shadow? This is Vishal's shadow, because you only mentioned Vishal's shadow is exactly to the left of Uday. So here this is Vishal's shadow. Okay, I hope you understood. So now how they are talking? They are talking to each other face to face. Rough verification. First we have to fix the shadow for this type of questions. Yes, I fixed shadow. Since he mentioned the morning time, shadow will be on west side. Now for example here Vishal is there, think that, and here Uday is there. If Vishal is there, now Vishal's shadow is towards left of Vishal. Vishal is towards north and Uday is seeing towards south, because they are talking to each other. If I will take Vishal on south direction and Uday on north direction, they are talking to each other. So Uday facing towards south, Vishal facing towards north. So in this case what you observed here? Vishal's shadow is to the left of Vishal, But in the question what he mentioned here, Vishal's shadow must be to the left of Uday. That's why, so this space must be for Uday and this must be for what? Vishal. Okay. Now observe here, Uday is facing towards north and Vishal is facing towards south. What we can say? So Vishal's shadow is to the left of Uday. It's very clear. Now the question is what? In which direction Uday is facing? So Uday is facing in which direction? North direction. So for this type of questions, first you need to fix the shadow. So now based on shadow, we will take one more question. See what is the given question? Previous question is based on morning time. Now this question is based on evening time. So what is the question? One evening before sunset, Rekha and Hema talking to each other face to face. One evening, Rekha and Hema, they are talking to each other face to face. Same concept. So let's say since they are talking to each other face to face, again north direction, east direction, south direction, west direction. So first we have to fix the shadow here. Whose shadow given in the given question? So observe your question. Whose shadow is given face to face? If Hema's shadow was exactly to the right of Hema. See observe here. Hema's shadow is exactly to the right of Hema. That's why first we have to fix the Hema's shadow. And on which time? Evening time. So we know one thing. One thing is very clear. Evening time shadow will be always towards which direction? East direction. So this is Hema's shadow. This is Hema's shadow. Okay. Now we will fix roughly. For example, I am fixing Hema here and I am fixing Rekha here. Okay. Now what does it mean? Hema is seeing towards south, whereas Rekha is seeing towards north, because they are talking to each other face to face. Okay, that is a condition. If for example Hema is towards south and Rekha is towards north, so now question what he mentioned here, Hema's shadow is to the right of Hema. Hema's shadow is to the right of Hema. If I will take Hema here, Hema is towards south. Is this Hema's shadow is towards left of Hema or right of Hema? If I will take Hema here, Hema's shadow is left of Hema. But what you have to get? Right of Hema you have to get. That's why, so the positions of the two fellows is, here you have to get Hema and here you have to get Rekha. Rekha is seeing towards south, Hema is seeing towards what you can say, north. Now what you can say? Hema's shadow is to the right of Hema. Now the question is what? Finally what he asked to find? Which direction Rekha is facing. See which direction Rekha is facing. Rekha is facing towards south direction. Now final question in directions. It is about regarding clocks. We already seen clocks part. Okay, clocks part and directions part. Okay, we link up these two things. So now what is the question? The question follows like this. In a clock at 4:30. In a clock at 4:30, if our hand indicating towards west, our hand is indicating towards west, then the question is minute hand indicating in which direction? Simple question. At 4:30, our hand is indicating towards west and minute hand is indicating which direction? It's simple question. To solve this kind of question, first what you have to do? We have to find out the actual directions at 4:30. Actual directions at 4:30. Okay. So let's say for example here since 4:30, minutes hand must be at 6, right? Minutes hand must be at 6 and our hand must be in this position. So what we can say? At exactly 4:30, minute hand is towards south, whereas our hand is towards southeast direction. I hope you understood. Okay. At exactly 4:30, minute hand is towards south and our hand is towards southeast. Is the actual position. But what he mentioned here, our hand is indicating. Question what he mentioned here, our hand is indicating towards west. Then he asked to find minute hand is indicating which direction. So now we have to rotate this clock. You have to rotate this clock in such a way that this our hand must be indicating which direction? West direction. Okay. Simply we have to rotate the given clock. Okay. So now he only mentioned our hand is indicating towards which direction? West direction. So think that our hand is, this is west we know. So this is our hand. Our hand is indicating towards west direction. See, think that I am rotating this clock. I am rotating this clock. So when I am rotating this clock, in such a way that our hand is indicating west, then obviously, so minute hand is indicating which direction? North west direction. Here you will get 6. Okay. So we have to rotate simply. we have to rotate simply, or else by taking directions angle concept also simply we can say, okay, or else by using this concept. Hence answer for this question is equal to northwest. Thank you.